Ladies and gentlemen, it turned out that we are all wrong. MCU isn't completely tanking, modern Marvel movies aren't flopping one by one. No. We have been approaching this wrong, especially when we approach female characters. According to CBR, this is just a different perspective. Yes, those are masterpieces, we just don't understand it.
Bullshit.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's not the first time CBR has been wrong, but this time they have been wrong so hilariously that I just couldn't walk by this article and not comment on it. This is a comedy gold, and the funniest part is that they are treating this very seriously, and I think I may guess who paid them to shit out article like this. Spoiler alert, probably the same people who promoted Eternals as a movie that is so diverse and inclusive with so much LGBT plus representation that it will literally save lives. So, they start by saying that the MCU is giving the spotlight to female heroes like the Scarlet Witch in order to address social and political concerns through new perspectives. In the earlier phases of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, there was a shortage of female superheroes, with Black Widow being the most prominent heroine in Phase 1 and the Scarlet Witch being introduced in Phase 2. Oh, right, because characters like Wasp, Gamora, or even to some degree Valkyrie, they cannot be considered female superheroes, right? I think someone hasn't done their homework properly and only watched the Avengers movies, completely ignoring the whole rest of the MCU. All the Phase 3 female characters have been suspiciously omitted in this article. Gee, I wonder why. However, Phases 4 and 5 of the MCU seem to be focusing on putting the spotlight on different heroines like the Scarlet Witch, Shuri as Black Panther, She-Hulk, and the upcoming trio of Captain Marvel, Monica Rambeau, and Miss Marvel. It's clear the MCU is aiming for more female representation. The R word. Why does it always have to be the R word? Yes, ladies and gentlemen, ever since Jon Favreau stepped down and Kevin Feige took a lead, we have exactly this kind of politics. For every one male superhero, we need to have at least 2 female superheroes. This is what Kevin Feige famously said. Screw the good story, screw iconic characters, screw the audience. Female representation, that is priority right now. By putting Marvel's women in leading roles, the MCU is setting up different intricate topics that viewers can relate to. Well, the box office results show that viewers don't really relate to them, but whatever. Heroines like the Scarlet Witch, Miss Marvel, and Shuri provide thought-provoking narratives that focus on complex issues. These characters can specifically comment on topics that are usually connected with the daily lives of certain groups of women.
I am woman!
Ladies and gentlemen, last time I checked, people watch superhero movies to see heroes defeat giant evil, save the world, fight bad guys, not to watch daily lives of certain groups of women. As far as I know, that's what shows like Sex and the City are for. They have been barking at the wrong tree for years now. Those movies with female protagonists keep losing money, yet articles like this still try to convince us that no, it's the audience who are in the wrong. Despite being a part of the Avengers since her debut in 2015, fans got to see more of Wanda Maximoff's personality in WandaVision. Oh yes, great personality. In the series, the Scarlet Witch gave birth to the twins Billy and Tommy Maximoff. Well, technically she didn't give birth to them, but whatever. Throughout their time together, Wanda was shown to be a nurturing mother, caring for her children even when her marriage was falling apart. However, even though she loved them and wanted to live her life with them, she ultimately had to break the hex which gave the twins their life force. Yes, that was a terrible, terrible thing to begin with. That was a villain thing. By creating the hex, she did manage to fulfill her dreams and create a perfect life for her, but she also unwittingly held captive an entire town.
If you won't let us go, just let us die.
She didn't keep them captive, she literally brainwashed them to fulfill her own desires. She also had the audacity to claim that government agents were the real villains because they were pointing guns at her because she had brainwashed the entire town. And do you remember that famous line Monica Rambeau told her afterwards?
They'll never know what you sacrificed for them.
What? What did she sacrifice for the town? She basically traumatized these people for life and created her own bubble of lies just to be happy, which is, by the way, something Hollywood loves doing. Which is, by the way, why Hollywood writers cannot write good stories for shit. And then, as you remember, Wanda goes through a whole rampage through all multiverses. Instead of searching, I don't know, for a live Vision to have real babies with him, she does everything in her power to recreate those ones who even weren't real. And we, the audience, are still supposed to feel sympathy for her because despite all the terrible things she does, she is still a loving mother and of course a woman, which justifies everything. And then we have Kamala Khan, who is there. She had her own TV show on Disney Plus that nobody watched, and she was depicted there as being a huge fan of the Avengers, especially of Captain Marvel. Okay, different people have different preferences. I guess someone somewhere likes characters played by Brie Larson. I'm not judging.
Is that like a personal attack or something?
And the show has her to deal with such terrible issues like when she wanted to go to the New Jersey AvengerCon, both her parents were reluctant to let her go. They did not trust her enough to be on her own, hinting that it is due to the fact that she is a girl. Oh my god, the high stakes here. This is actually the problem of this TV show. This is a teenage girl drama show, stylized as superhero one. You tried to win the approval of almost non-existent audience here. The last one mentioned is Shuri. In Black Panther: Wakanda Forever, Chadwick Boseman's King T'Challa passed away. Rest in peace, Chadwick. In the beginning of the movie by an unnamed illness. His sister Shuri tried to recreate the heart-shaped herb in order to heal him, but she was unsuccessful. Throughout the movie, Shuri was furious by the fact that despite her intellect and skills, she was not able to save her brother. By the way, how they tackled the passing away of the actor in real life, that was the only thing that made me emotional. That was the only thing they done well in the movie. And of course, Shuri has become a new Black Panther, by the way, against the direct wishes of the late Chadwick Boseman, who wanted the character of Black Panther to be recast. For these people, diversity, inclusion, and female representation was more important than the final wish of a person who was passing away. Also, as you probably remember, in the first Black Panther movie and the Avengers, Shuri was portrayed as a genius tinkerer, a little bit of a comic relief, something like Q in James Bond movies. When watching her becoming the next Black Panther, I just felt like this just doesn't fit her personality. But of course it had to be done because, well, women power, you know. The article ends with this. These heroines provide the opportunity to address issues through a different perspective, all the while making these stories appealing for audiences. Whether or not people do not like the fact that the MCU is giving the spotlight to well-written female heroes, okay, here's the example of a very well-written female hero of the modern MCU era.
Well, here's the thing, Bruce. I'm great at controlling my anger. I do it all the time. But when I'm catcalled in the street, when incompetent men explain my own area of expertise to me, I do it pretty much every day, because if I don't, I will get called emotional or difficult, or I might just literally get murdered. So I'm an expert at controlling my anger because I do it infinitely more than you.
No comment. Let's end this. The fact remains that they are being given their due and their chance to tell their stories. Stories that are written in such a way that it promotes diversity, inclusion, and wokeism instead of, I don't know, being entertaining. Stories that deconstruct classic characters from phases 1, 2, and 3, turning them into comic reliefs. Stories that make fans leave MCU in droves because we don't trust you, Disney. Not anymore. Every new trailer keeps being downvoted into oblivion. Every released movie keeps getting review bombed. This is your legacy. MCU is fading. The superhero fatigue is real, and new shows are being produced only to push certain ideologies, not to entertain us as an audience. And articles like this on CBR won't convince anyone because they are written by shills who suck up to Hollywood. But you know what? Keep writing them. Keep making those shitty movies and TV shows. I will be very entertained because I love making videos like this, and it keeps me entertained and hopefully my audience as well. The independent entertainment outlets, people voicing their own opinions on YouTube, Rumble, Odyssey, they become more and more prominent every day. This is the future. This is real, uncensored criticism. Thank you very much for watching. See you next time. Cheers.